Bine v-am regăsit, fraților, la o nouă zi în care o să ne uităm pe YouTube la aparent 10 Lost Secrets din Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. Nu știam că există, sincer, un videoclip de la fix cei care au creat Poppy Playtime cu secrete, pentru că credeam că e ceva fake, dar aparent s-a dovedit a fi real, așa că vreau să ne uităm astăzi pentru că nu am găsit neapărat altceva. Puteți lăsați în continuare idei în comentarii. Nu uitați să apăsați butonul de like dacă mai vreți episoade cu Poppy Playtime sau chestii de astea. Însă plănuiesc să mai fac încă un live poate săptămâna aceasta sau nu știu sigur, pentru că devine încărcată iar luna asta din cauza terminării școlii și toată lumea nu mai are nimeni timp să se uite pe YouTube luna asta din ce observ. Dar sperăm să fie ok. Dacă strângem like-uri destule și bune, ne mai uităm la chestii, mai facem episoade, mai facem un live. Nu știu la ce să mă aștept, sincer, pentru că eu chiar am crezut că videoclipul ăsta e hoax, dar hai să vedem.
Poppy Playtime fans will remember that Chapter 2 opens with us exploring Ludwig's office and eventually finding Poppy in a hidden room below.
Da,
Chapter 2
cu asta
didn't always start
suntem...
this way. In a now deleted opening of the chapter, after freeing Poppy from her case, you wake up and are immediately greeted by the sight of Poppy peeking out behind a door. The sequence continues with you following Poppy as she slinks throughout various hallways.
Uitați-vă ce ciudat se vede, că gen, practic nu se joacă jocul, se joacă din engine.
Eventually leading to a power puzzle that activated an elevator, taking you down to the game station to meet your new foe, Mommy Longlegs. Now,
holy shit. Deci era o mare altă alternativă totală.
The first reason was chasing Poppy was just turning out too funny. The sequence went through 3 major iterations, starting with you straight up chasing Poppy to follow her, but that just ended up being way too funny. Version 2 was Poppy peeking out behind doorways and walls, but that was almost even funnier. In the last version, you see Poppy's shadow moving across the floor and walls. This version was definitely the creepiest iteration, and it's the one we ended up sticking with for quite a long time. But in the end, it was abandoned for just feeling a little too cheesy. The second reason was simple. It was too long. You went through a 10
E foarte interesant să vezi gen ce alternative au mai avut jocurile astea. Cum s-au petrecut.
Mommy Longlegs had no mention or build-up. To fix these shortcomings, we completely redid the intro sequence. We first added Ludwig's office to the sequence, so you had an interesting location to explore. We then changed following Poppy to Poppy talking to you to make her a relatable character instead of just a cheesy horror doll that you follow around. Then we added a scene forcing you to watch Poppy be kidnapped before your eyes to build up the threat of Mommy Longlegs. And finally, we had you jump down a slide rather than jump down catwalks for 10 minutes. In the end, these are why the alternate opening of Chapter 2 never saw the light of day. Number 2. Mommy Longlegs' alternate intro scene. Mommy's intro scene was one of the hardest.
Deci asta n-a existat prima dată, ce vedem noi acum.
Through multiple versions of dialogue and pacing. These alternate versions, while relatively similar to the final, had a few key differences. Here's the first alternate version.
Hai să vedem.
Flight Festival, the biggest.
Cum să fii partener YouTube și YouTube să nu-ți dea YouTube Premium? Nu înțeleg. What the fuck, era mult mai shit. Era mult mai nasoală scena asta. Na, clar era mult mai bună asta de acum. Era foarte ciudat modelul, gen, nu. What the fuck, nu. Aveți și subtitrări jos, pentru cei care vreți să înțelegeți ce zice. Ok. Nah, asta ar fi fost prea weird.
In this version of the scene, there were a few key elements missing from a storytelling standpoint. 1. Mommy's introduction to the story didn't influence anything about your current objective. 2. The player had no reason to feel threatened by Mommy Longlegs because she had no prior build-up at the time. So we addressed some of these issues in version 2.
Da. Nu, gen, într-adevăr, ea venea pur și simplu așa la tine, gen, nu zicea nimic care să-ți afecteze ție obiectivul și ce ai de făcut și practic nu era văzută ca un threat, știi? Și e mult mai bine așa. Mai mult e gen before and after, behind the scenes, Poppy Playtime 2. Și e bine că oamenii chiar gândesc foarte bine când fac jocul ăsta, aparent. Chiar dacă unii nu sunt 100% mulțumiți cu el, eu sunt.
always tells Mom. play games? How about you play some games with Mommy? Oh, you don't have to. Mommy can just keep little Miss Poppy if you don't want her. But Mommy
Și ciudat e
knows
gen...
you love.
Modelul n-are animații.
Some have lost their way.
E foarte ciudat.
Never found it again.
Se plimbă așa ca o mașinuță.
Let that happen to you. Mommy always knows where you are.
So this version addressed one of the big issues. Mommy now kidnaps Poppy to give the player a motive to play Mommy.
Asta zic, gen, acum playerul are un motiv, știi, dacă îi dă
Player doesn't even
kidnap.
need Poppy. Who cares if she's kidnapped? So Mommy showing up still didn't affect your current objective. So here's what we did to solve it. We had Poppy be the only one who knows the train code, so now you need her to escape. We
Bun.
also added that scene where Mommy comes out of nowhere and pulls Poppy down into the abyss.
Da, bun, aici chiar da.
Now, Mommy steals your only way of escape, and watching Mommy kidnap Poppy makes her introduction all the more threatening. Number 3. The game station's lost designs. Fans will remember that the game station features a giant mural of Mommy Longlegs.
Da,
playground for the
corect.
kids,
What the
and
fuck,
entrances
avea
to the
altceva?
station's 3 main games. But it didn't used to be this way. The original design of the game station was absolutely massive and featured a mural on the roof of the giant sun and moon.
Zici că suntem în FNAF
station.
Security Bridge deja, ești nebun, nu mai are treabă
Two
cu
major
Poppy.
issues. It was unrealistically big and was completely empty. It didn't seem like it could have been a real functioning location for kids. The second version featured a new design for the sun and moon and a lot more color in the room to make it more
Nu, pe
inviting
bune, e
for kids to
prea
visit.
asemănător cu
However,
Five
it
Nights
was
at Freddy's
still
Security
incomplete.
Bridge, îmi pare
So
rău.
we went back to the drawing board, keeping in mind what a place like the
E
game
mult mai
station
bună
would need
varianta
to
de
be a
acum,
fully
originală.
functional and realistic location. In the end, we shrunk the room, added a big playground for the kids to play in while they waited for their turn in the games, added structural supports for realism, catwalks for Playtime Co. employees to observe the things going on, and of course, added some classic Playtime Co. style branding. Number 4.
Bun.
Musical Memories lost design. Musical
Ia
Memories
să
used to have
vedem.
a much different aesthetic than it currently does. In the original version, the walls were completely covered in TV screens of various sizes that would display the name of the button that you're supposed to press, and the buttons you press during the game used to be suspended by big mechanical arms.
Da,
The reason
cam
this
așa e și
design was
acum,
abandoned
gen...
was fairly straightforward. The aesthetic was too high-tech looking for Playtime Co. The array of TVs and mechanical
Într-adevăr,
arms made the room feel
e
close
puțin
to a
cam prea
spaceship
mult
in a toy
pentru o
factory.
locație de
On top of
atunci,
that,
de la
we also
vremea aia.
decided that we wanted to include an area where Mommy Longlegs could watch you play, and that just wasn't going to work in a curved room with a bunch of TVs.
Da,
Number 5,
într-adevăr.
Cassie Cutie Pillar. Some of you may actually be aware of this one. Cassie Cutie Pillar was the original character that was going to be chasing you throughout the Statues game. She was a giant caterpillar with a pink snout,
What the fuck,
two
that-
eyes, and 2 antennae. Cassie actually appeared in the official Chapter 2 trailer before she was scrapped. Though Cassie was cute, we felt we had the opportunity to make the character more unique by creating an unholy combination of 2 different animals. So we went back to the
Pillar.
drawing board. We spent a long time picking the right face for this new character, something that didn't feel too goofy for the statues section of the game. Eventually, we settled on the design that would become PJ Pugapillar.
Da, PJ
This was one of the
Pugapillar.
later changes we made to Chapter 2.
A, deci avea un nume, chestia asta chiar nu știam.
Model of Cassie, complete with fur simulation and realistic eyeballs, as well as various art of Cassie throughout the game having to be swapped with the new PJ art. Number 6, Daisy the Flower
Bun.
and 7 other characters.
Daisy the
This
Flower.
is probably the most well-known one on the list. Very similar to Cassie Cutie Pillar,
N-am
Daisy
văzut
was the
chestia asta.
original character that was going to be lowering towards you during the musical memory game. She was a flower marionette.
Da, și de fapt
suspended on strings
e
with a
purașul la
very
Banzo.
unsettling face. Like Cassie, Daisy also appeared briefly in the trailer for Chapter 2. Daisy was abandoned because we wanted a character with more theming, and a way to alert the player that death was getting closer and closer. And this is where things got difficult. We went through 7 completely different character concepts for the musical memory toy. A monkey, a clown, a fox, a princess, a bluebird, another bird, a ballerina
Balerina ar fi
and
mers.
finally, a bunny. We liked the bunny because he had
Balerina ar
great
fi
theming with
mers
his
în
symbols
locul lui
and clothes,
Banzo.
as well as his
Dar
symbols serving
e
as
bun și
audio
Banzo, n-am ce să
tunes
zic.
to hear him descending upon you in musical memory. After a few slight design tweaks and color variations, we finally got the Bunzo bunny we all know today. Daisy the Flower wasn't completely absent from Chapter 2, however, as we see various
Da, o
art
vedem în
posters of her
postere și
throughout the game,
chestii.
as well as a full cardboard cutout with voice lines from Daisy. Number 7, Mommy Long.
O să mă opresc aici pentru că ne lungim cam mult cu episodul la secretul 7 și dacă vreți să continuăm gen și cu ultimele minute, nu știu câte mai sunt, cred că mai sunt vreo 5 dacă nu mă înșel, apăsați pe butonul de like și poate facem pentru vineri un episod sau vedem. Și dacă strângem multe like-uri, poate facem un episod și cu Carton of Batman cu secrete, dar gen episod separat de live. Până atunci, enjoy your time, aveți grijă cu școala pentru că efectiv YouTube-ul e mort de când a început luna mai și asta este, aveți grijă, YouTube-ul, avem timp după 3 luni în continuu, dacă e să meargă. Până să facem următorul episod, eu am fost Alex și ne vom revedea data viitoare. Pa, pa!